What's up, Airsofters? In this video, we're going to be taking a deep dive into KWA's newest gas blowback pistol, the ATP-GT and the ATP-GT Carbine kit, which can be installed on the all-new GT. Let's get right into what makes these new gas blowback pistols super cool, starting with the externals. Starting out, we've got a very familiar silhouette and form factor. Up top, we've got a durable aluminum slide with deep engraved markings and a front and rear set of slide serrations. This surrounds a full metal one-piece outer barrel. Mounted just in front of the rear sight, KWA has included an optic cut which comes pre-installed with a cover plate. We've swapped that out for the optics plate. Also included is that optics plate, which has multiple screw holes for compatibility with Seymour, RTS, STS, Burris, and RMR pattern red dot sights. I'll also mention here that the included sights are a standard 3-dot pattern. No traditional bucket here. The slide is paired with a lightweight polymer frame that's got a comfortable grip angle, finger grooves, and an undercut trigger guard, as well as a pronounced beaver tail. Additional side texturing and a Picatinny accessory mounting rail at the very front give you plenty of room to mount your flashlights and lasers, and I really quite like the flared magwell at the base of the grip. The slide takedown is very similar to the SIG, FN, and Beretta style of rotating locking pin as opposed to a spring and bar style slide lock. And as far as controls, they've provided a comfortable and crispy blade style trigger which provides a tactile wall and noticeable reset, as well as an ambidextrous slide release and reversible ambidextrous magazine release, making this a great platform for righties and lefties alike. And finally, KWA was dedicated to making the ATP-GT as compatible as possible with existing holster options on the market, so you should have no problem seamlessly integrating the GT into your existing kit or finding a holster that fits it perfectly. Internally, the KWA ATP-GT has received some updates from previous generations of ATP as well. These include KWA's all-new precision-engineered drop-in trigger group, which, as I mentioned before, feels quite nice and offers a very realistic and responsive shooting experience. The ATP-GT also features KWA's NS3 system, which performs well despite the challenge of having the optic cut slide in a gas blowback pistol. The hop-up adjustment is toolless, and the adjustment wheel can be accessed by removing the slide. In the traditional place that you'll find in a lot of other Airsoft gas blowback pistols, you'll find it here at the base of the hop-up unit at the back of the outer barrel. Now, while we've got this apart, take a look at the trigger group unit. It consists of the metal rails that the slide glides along, the trigger unit itself, and the hammer housing and valve knocker assembly at the back. These parts form one complete group that can be removed and installed from the frame by simply sliding out the takedown lever, which is really cool, especially because you really don't need any other screws. The whole thing kind of comes out in one piece. Just make sure you don't lose the little spring. Now, I did say that we were going to be talking about this awesome carbine kit, and don't worry, I did not forget. I just wanted to give you the idea of what the base features of the GT before we move into its carbine conversion. The carbine kit comes complete with everything you see here, minus the accessories we've attached. Once again, you've got a lightweight polymer frame, this time with a Picatinny segment at the rear, to which a folding stock is attached, a metal Picatinny rail for optics at the top, and pick rail at the front for lights and lasers once again. A spare magazine grip with its own magazine release, and an ambidextrous QD mount for slings at the back. Oh, and this very cool comp-shaped block that KWA calls a brick at the front, which is cool. I think it was supposed to mimic kind of like a compensator, but it doesn't have compensator cuts. Thankfully though, it is threaded in 14mm negative so that you can put on your favorite aftermarket muzzle device. Now, missing from the carbine kit, of course, is the slide, because this is a kit and not a complete carbine. So the slide, which must be donated from your ATP-GT, which, if you think about it, is pretty cool. You can freely swap between your carbine kit and your standard pistol setup depending on your situational needs. The other component that has to be borrowed from your ATP-GT gas blowback pistol is that drop-in trigger group, which, as I mentioned, is really easy to swap over by simply sliding out that takedown lever and removing the trigger group out of the top of the frame. Once again, making sure not to lose the little spring that's on the side. Once assembled, you've got a carbine that provides more points of contact than a standard pistol configuration, allowing for more control when firing, increased accuracy, and additional space for accessories. Plus, it looks pretty freaking cool and pairs extremely well with extended magazines. So, If you have been on the hunt for a new addition to your airsoft or your training arsenal, then you definitely need to check out the all-new KWA ATP-GT optics-ready gas blowback pistol and the ATP-GT carbine kit, which you can find these new releases from KWA, extra magazines, gas, BBs, and pretty much everything else you need for your airsoft game right here on our website at Evike.com. Thanks for watching.